Morning, everyone. Can you say energy shifts? Say it with me. Energy shift. So, yeah, lots of energy shifting, lots of baggage being shifted with the turbulence. So things are breaking up. Hagalaz, right? Hagalaz. So I want to talk a little bit about Chiron and Hagalaz this morning. We are experiencing turbulence, and turbulence is a good thing because it shifts things, it breaks things up so that things can then come to the surface. You know, it's like anything else. Once you release something or something is uncovered, right, then you can deal with it. You can actually become the alchemist. So learning how to access your Chiron is all about learning how to become an alchemist. Look, we all got trauma-based shit. Every fucking one of us. And we got to deal with it, you know, and we are dealing with it. But some of us are still denying certain aspects to our trauma and our wound. Being fucking trusting yourself. And these issues of trust have been coming up like over and over and over for me lately, the last week or so. You know, and it does come down to trusting yourself. It does come down to, you know, learning how not to betray yourself. Because betrayal, in context, is all about not finishing your fucking initiation, but stopping and keeping yourself from going forward, and whatever obstacle comes in your way, whatever presents itself as a veil or as a limitation or as a place where you have to face, in context to facing the mirror of your own life, that's where you have to keep going. You got to keep pushing through. You can't just say, oh, I've done enough and not finish your initiation, not finish the job. See? Because that not finishing the job is betraying yourself. And so things are going to present themselves in context to Hagalaz and Chiron. Hagalaz being the hailstorm, the weather disruptions, all of the purging that takes place to pound on that hail, pounding on your roof that you hear. You know, the hail pounding on your car, causing dents, causing destruction, causing all of these disruptions in your life. You're going one way and boom, you move another way. Astrological correspondence for Hagalaz is Aquarius, which is rooted in and anchored by Uranus, which is sudden changes and unexpected circumstances coming up in your life. It's the tower. It's the tower card of the tarot in context. Lightning strike to the tower. So, you know, we're having Hagalaz. This is what we're in right now. This is what's happening. This is the deal, okay? Because the initiations are going to become more intense. The initiations are going to become more regular. You're going to have to move through them quicker. You're going to have to learn how to become the ultimate alchemist in your own life as you transmute things more rapidly. And so Hagalaz becomes our ally in context. It's not something that we shouldn't like, oh my God, it's a Hagalaz moment. No, we should embrace the moment in context to what's coming in front of us that we need to overcome. Like a sage said, ice is just water. If you leave it in your hand long enough, it will melt. And it does no, and you know, you look at it like that, you just go, holy shit. It's all about perception, right? How we perceive things. How are we perceiving this moment, this now moment that we're in, this now neutral, co-creating moment that we're in right now? Even on this video, as I'm doing this, I'm in a now moment. So I get into the now moment, and then I what comes up within me, in context to my connection to the higher force, is what I'm speaking to my higher self, to myself. So everything I'm putting out on this video, I'm speaking to myself. I'm looking in the mirror right now at myself. See? So that's how it works. Everything that I teach, I'm held accountable for in my own life. And if I choose not to face that, it's going to manifest. It's going to force me to face it, or I'll have to step into denial and willful ignorance and say, no, I don't want to face that right now. But it's coming up for review. This is why Chiron is so important. That's why it is the key. Its symbol is the key. It actually is the key to unlocking your astrological chart in context, where your Chiron placing is, and understanding how it actually works. You see, we have a base gift and a base wounds and base gifts to the Chiron aspect, but it's much, much bigger and ancient than that. Chiron isn't just some little dwarf asteroid or dwarf planet off in the cosmos somewhere. Chiron is the bridge between your conscious and unconscious mind and your mental body in context. It's key to your memories. It's the key to unlocking things in your life that are going to begin to level you up. See, you got to deal with the wound so you can heal. How do you deal with the wound if you don't know how to transmute? How do you deal with the wound if you don't understand what the shamanic aspect is, dropping down into that mental chaos, that mental fucking chaos within your mind, within your mental body, in context to bringing all of that shit up. So you're dropping down into the madness, into the chaos, right? So you drop down into that, and you got to learn how to pull up out of that chaos and transmute and become the alchemist of your own life. That's what Chiron is representing in context to illuminating your unconscious mind. It sits between Saturn and Uranus, the inner and outer planets, Jupiter and Saturn being the construction of consciousness in context to how they're placed in limitations and delays and expansion. See? So they're the two big players on the field, and you got your inner planets, Mercury, your Venus, your Mars aspect, all your inner planets, okay? And then you've got Saturn and Jupiter sitting there working expansion and limitations in context to your karmic aspects, learning, to burn things off, right? So Jupiter and Saturn are there to help construct new consciousness, okay? And illuminate things. And then your Chiron sits next, right? Which is where your wound is, where all your woundedness is in context, and your gift is as well, as it unlocks your unconscious mind to Uranus, getting into the Uranus aspect, okay? And then the Neptune, and then the Plutonian aspect as well, okay? So that's how things work, with all of this. And your moon is your navigation in context to how your thought and emotion and your nervous system, along with Mercury, are being either jammed or rode in on, or you're actually navigating it correctly in context to alignment. But how can you get into alignment if you don't have your sun ignited, okay, within yourself, that core ignition to your sun, and then taking that to illuminating all the planetary aspects within yourself? Because if nothing's illuminated, then you're still in the unconscious darkness. So Chiron becomes very important in context to that fire aspect, or that illumination aspect with your sun in context to ignition, because the sun is what? A star. So it is a star core ignition, okay? And I'm speaking solar spiral here, okay? Star core ignition in context, okay? And then when it begins to illuminate your planetary aspects, context to your Mercury, your communication, your Venus, which is all of the aspects of learning how to actually love yourself, and then taking it to the relationships of Libra, because Libra is relationships. This is where we have to find our harmony and balance and context, right? And then you've got the moon aspect, which is all your thought and emotion, your nervous system as well, and then taking it to your Mars, which is all the warrior codes and the fire and the passion aspect. See? Okay? And then the next stop becomes the expansion of that, which becomes Jupiter. See? So Jupiter expands all that inner world, all those inner aspects within you from Mercury to Mars. Okay? And then also taking it on the outer planets in context to what? All your outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But where does Jupiter have to go through to get to that? It's to Saturn. See, Jupiter's the 9th gate, context to the fire magician, but Saturn's the 10th gate to the earth magician. Okay? Which takes it to the Chiron aspect in context to what you can manifest and put together in context to constructing consciousness to the 11th gate, which is Uranus. And Uranus bridges to the 12th gate of Pisces, which is the last stop on the wheel in context to your true shamanic abilities and healing. So when you see how the wheel works, and you realize that actually what's been cut off is the 12th gate, so that you can't bridge to the 13th gate of the serpent bearer in context, right? So getting to that 12th gate and healing it is what has to happen. That's the Piscean energy, see? So really what has to happen here is the shamanic aspect in context to us being shamans on this fucking planet has to be healed. Chiron is the key. That's why its symbol is the key. Hagalaz, in context to the situations that present themselves, are only presenting themselves because healing needs to take place. So Hagalaz becomes the conduit, the hail, the disruption that has to take place to this. If you want to take it to rune correspondence, to weather disruption within your own life. See, this is all within us. All this shit's within us, guys. Every bit of it. And so we have to look at it as within, as without, to vibrational correspondence and our state of mind. I tell this, I speak every time I do a video, I talk about this, so that we can make the right choices to cause and effect, not getting pendulum swinged back and forth to the polarity duality aspect, but staying balanced and focused and in harmony in context to our own self and our own self-worth to Taurus, which is where Venus represents in context of the Venus good works, and then to relationships in context to Libra, which are the things outside of ourselves. You ever wonder? That's that 7-1 axis, because it's always Aries that's going to be the challenge in your chart in context to opening the gates of wisdom, because Aries doesn't want to open those gates. Aries becomes the narcissistic aspect in your life, your warrior aspect that has no illumination. So Aries needs to be taught. And if you don't access that 7th gate in context to the axis points, the 1-7 axis, okay, Aries being the 1, Libra being the 7 on the opposition, and you don't open up that 7th gate in context to your Aries placings, you're not going to have wisdom. You're going to continue in your narcissistic tendencies, and your self-sabotage and all your woundedness isn't going to get healed. So that's why Libra is the other key to your chart. So we have all of these beautiful planetary aspects. And look, if you don't understand astrology on this path work and how it works and how you work and how you tick in your own disposition, your own planetary placings, then you're not going to open the gates of wisdom. You can do everything that you want to in context to the arts of gnosis. You can know your auric field. You can know the runes. You can know numerology. Getting into the tarot and all these different aspects. You can know all of it, okay, and have the knowledge of it. But until that knowledge is applied to wisdom, which are the gates of Libra, you're not getting out of your underworld. You're going to be just spun on the 8. Just like a loop. You're going to be in the loops of the 8, the infinite. Just like this. You're never going to break out of that fucking looping. And you're just going to repeating this shit lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, repeating this shit. See? So to break out of the Tesseract, you've got to have these tools. And you've got to start using those tools to deconstruct the tesseract that's locking your consciousness down. That's how this shit works, guys. This is how consciousness works. I mean, this week has been fucking rough for me in context to certain things I've been going to, and I've had to navigate and not break my frame because of what's been literally bearing down on my own life personally. And so you can't break your frame. You have to level it up when you're going through this process of Hagalaz. See? You've got to level it up there. This is your chance to level things up when you're going through the shit. See? So you embrace it so that you can level up during this period of time that you're going through this initiation process, because that's what it is. It's an initiation process. You can't break your frame. You can't let it drop you down into the lower frequencies, into your lower consciousness, where you're getting siphoned off. See? This is the aspect. So Chiron becomes so important when the illumination happens to your path work. So I just wanted to throw this little video out here because it really is important right now where we're sitting. With this Jupiter Neptune aspect that's here now in Pisces, and that's, you know, that conjunction that's forming right now. This shit's just getting started, man. And we can tap into our powerful shamanic abilities. Our luck can be off the charts. Our breakthroughs can be powerful here. But let me tell you, what's ever running in your unconscious mind that's not been illuminated yet is going to get hit. So be ready to go through these shamanic initiation processes in context to this transit, Jupiter and Neptune with the Piscean energy at 22 degrees. You got to be ready for this shit. Otherwise, it's going to knock you fucking off your horse. You got to trust yourself. You got to trust yourself through the process. You can't get into these places where, oh my God, I don't know what to do. This is where you got to go back into nature and heal that mental aspect. I posted a video on my channel, not on my channel, I'm going to put it on my channel, but I posted a video on my feed, on my Facebook page, about how the Norse aspect to healing your mental things that come up, you know, mental illness. I think it was Freya Norling put it out. It was really good. I really resonated with it. So I encourage everybody to go to my page and just pull that up. I am going to put that on my Facebook page. On my YouTube page, because it is really great information. So much love to everybody. Look, man, we're all going through it together, you know, and we are tribe. We are connected. We're here with each other. And even though we see the illusion of separation, you know, with everything that's going on here in context to this realm, we're really not. We're really right here with each other energetically and spiritually, you know, in context to the law of one. Not everything's one, because there's shit out here that ain't even human running around in meat suits. And we know this. But again, it's all about understanding us as family here and our cosmic connection together to this journey and what we are here to do to flip this shit, okay? Bring back the original human blueprint, okay? And knowing your solar spiral is so fucking important to the process, okay? So if anybody wants to hit me up and go through it, I am definitely here to help you. So you can get a hold of me on my Facebook page. You can get a hold of me on Messenger there. You can get a hold of me on my website, hardcoreproductions.com, or you can hit me up on email, hardcoreproductions9@gmail.com. If you really are in a position where you think you want to really look at your solar aspect in context to astropsychology, because that's what I do. I'm not really like a regular astrologist. I just do astropsychology. Basically, is how I work with the energies. So everybody have an awesome weekend. It's Friday here. Maybe it's Saturday somewhere else on the other side of the planet. But much love to everyone around the planet that hears this video, and sending out great encouragement to everybody today. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you later.